Are you nervous about picking up your newborn for the first time? This is a question that echoes in the minds of so many new parents around the world. And if this question resonates with you, you're not alone. It's completely normal to feel just a tad bit anxious. After all, you're holding a delicate, tiny human being, your own flesh and blood, for the first time. When you look into those tiny, innocent eyes, you might feel a whirlwind of emotions, a mix of joy, love, and a sudden surge of responsibility. And with that responsibility, there comes a fear of not doing it right, of not being perfect. This fear, my friends, is as common as it is natural. The first hold can seem overwhelming. The softness, the fragility, the sheer tininess of your newborn might make you feel like you're holding the most precious jewel in the world. And you are. But remember, that jewel is tougher than you think and is eager to be held by you. You might be worried about not supporting your baby's head correctly, or holding them too tight or not tight enough. You might fret about dropping them or making them uncomfortable. These fears are valid. They show your concern and love for your little one. But they can also be tackled, and that's what we're here to discuss. Your newborn is not as fragile as they seem. They're resilient and adaptable. And while it's important to handle them with care, it's equally important not to let your fears overshadow this beautiful experience. Holding your baby is not just about providing physical support, it's also about creating a bond, a connection that is unique to you and your baby. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and open your heart to this wonderful journey. Remember, it's completely normal to feel nervous, but with the right technique and some practice, you'll soon become a pro. After all, you're not just holding a baby, you're holding your future, your legacy. And trust me, you're going to do great. So, how do you pick up your newborn safely? Well, first things first, cleanliness is paramount. It's important to wash your hands thoroughly before touching your baby. Newborns have a developing immune system which makes them more susceptible to infections. So, washing hands is a simple yet crucial step that shouldn't be overlooked. Now let's get to the actual technique. Imagine your baby is lying on their back. You want to start by sliding one hand under your baby's neck and head. Why? Because a newborn's neck muscles are not yet fully developed and they need that extra support. Your hand will provide a comfortable cradle for their delicate head. Next, take your other hand and gently slide it under the baby's bottom and hips. It's important to do this gently and slowly so as not to startle or discomfort your baby. This second hand will provide support for the lower half of their body, ensuring a balanced hold. Once both your hands are in position, you're ready for the lift. Use both your arms evenly to gently lift your baby off the surface. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. No sudden movements or jerks. As you lift, bring your baby close to your chest. This not only provides additional support, but also helps your baby feel secure and loved. You can now adjust your hold as needed, making sure your baby's head, neck, and back are well supported. Remember, every baby is unique, and so is every parent. What feels right and comfortable for one might not for another. So don't be afraid to adjust and find what works best for you and your newborn. The key here is to be gentle, patient, and attentive. It can be a little nerve-wracking, especially for first-time parents. But don't worry, with time and practice, you'll become a pro at this. And voila, you have safely picked up your newborn, but what happens next? Well, stay tuned as we explore the different ways you can hold your baby in the upcoming scenes. Now that you have your baby in your arms, let's talk about the cradle hold. The cradle hold, a classic position to hold your newborn, is not only a comfortable position for you and your baby, but it's also a great way to bond. It's called the cradle hold because you'll be creating a sort of human cradle with your arms. This hold is perfect for those tender moments where you want to gaze into your baby's eyes, or when you're just sitting down and enjoying the quiet. The trick to the cradle hold lies in the support. You see, a newborn's head and neck are the heaviest parts of their body. They don't yet have the muscle strength to support this weight. So when you're holding your baby in a cradle hold, it's essential to provide that support for them. Here's how to do it. First, sit comfortably. Then place your baby's head in the crook of your elbow. Your baby's back will rest along your forearm, and their tiny legs will drape over your hand. The other hand can then be used to provide additional support to the baby's head or to hold them securely. This position allows you to maintain eye contact with your baby, which is essential for bonding. You see, babies are born ready to interact. They can recognize your face, voice, and scent. When you hold your baby close in a cradle hold, you're not just holding them, You're communicating. You're telling your baby that they're safe, loved and cared for. But remember, while the cradle hold is a classic, it's not the only way to hold your baby. There are other positions that can provide different types of interaction and stimulation. Some positions are better for feeding, others for soothing a fussy baby, and some are just for fun. So don't be afraid to try other holds. They can bring you closer to your baby and make your parenting journey more enjoyable. The cradle hold is a classic, but there are other holds you can try too. Holds. Want to try something different? Let's explore some alternate holds. Variety is the spice of life, isn't it? And the same holds true when it comes to cradling your newborn. Let's consider a few other holding positions that could be of great help in different situations. First up, we have the football hold. This name might seem a bit odd, but trust me, it's quite practical. As the name suggests, you hold your baby like a football under your arm. This position can be particularly useful during feeding times, as it allows for a comfortable latch for breastfeeding. It's also a great position to use if you've had a cesarean section, as it keeps pressure off your abdomen. Next, we have the shoulder hold. In this position, your baby's head rests on your shoulder while your arm supports their back and bottom. This hold is excellent for burping your baby or when you want to soothe them to sleep. It also allows you to maintain a close, comforting contact with your little one. And finally, we have the face-to-face hold. This hold is a bit more intimate and can really help strengthen the bond between you and your baby. You hold your baby at your chest level, facing you. This position allows your baby to look directly into your eyes, helping to foster a sense of security and connection. Each of these holds has its own unique benefits and can be used in different situations. The key is to find what works best for you and your baby. Remember, there is no one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to holding your newborn. So, don't be afraid to experiment and try out these different holds. Keep in mind, though, that your baby's safety and comfort should always be your top priority. Remember, the key is to be comfortable and ensure your baby is safe and secure in your arms. While it's important to know the right way to hold your baby, it's equally important to know what to avoid. Let's dive into some common pitfalls that new parents often stumble upon while cradling their newborns. One of the most frequent errors made is not supporting the baby's head. Remember, a newborn's neck muscles are not yet fully developed, making their heads disproportionately heavy compared to the rest of their body. So, always make sure to cradle the head when picking up your little one, providing a safe and secure support. Another misstep to dodge is making jerky movements. Babies aren't thrill seekers just yet, and sudden movements can startle and scare them. It's crucial to make all movements smooth and gentle. Think of it as if you're handling a delicate piece of art. Quick and abrupt actions are not on the menu. Similarly, holding the baby too loosely or too tightly is a common blunder. If you hold your baby too loosely, you risk them slipping out of your arms, which is a nerve-wracking thought for any parent. On the other hand, holding your baby too tightly isn't the way to go either. It may make them feel uncomfortable and can even restrict their breathing. So, find that Goldilocks zone of not too tight, not too loose, but just right. And lastly, avoid getting distracted while holding your baby. Your full attention should be on your precious little one. Phones can ring, doorbells can chime, but your focus should remain steadfast on your baby. After all, they're the most important call you've got to answer. By steering clear of these common mistakes, you're already on your way to mastering the art of holding your baby. It's not rocket science, but it does require your attention, care, and most importantly, your love. Avoiding these mistakes will ensure your baby is safe and comfortable in your arms. And in the end, that's what matters the most. So keep these pointers in mind and you'll be a pro in no time. Picking up your newborn might feel overwhelming at first. But remember, practice makes perfect. The first time you hold your little one, it's like holding a piece of your heart outside your body. It's a moment filled with joy, love, and yes, a healthy dose of fear. But you're not alone in this. Every new parent feels the same way. Imagine the fear as a friend who's trying to ensure you're extra careful. Use it to your advantage. Let it guide you to be gentle, to be soft, to be delicate. And the best way to build confidence? Practice. Practice until the fear transforms into familiarity, until the unfamiliar becomes second nature. Now you might be wondering, how can I practice? I don't want to experiment with my baby. And you're absolutely right. This is where a doll or a pillow comes in handy. Practice the holding techniques we've discussed using these substitutes. The cradle hold, the shoulder hold, the face-to-face hold, let your hands get accustomed to the motions. Remember, the key to holding your baby safely is being calm and relaxed. Babies, they're intuitive, they sense your emotions. If you're tense, they can feel it, so take a deep breath, let your shoulders drop, and approach your baby with a calm demeanor. It's not just about the physical act of picking up and holding your baby, it's also about the emotional connection that comes with it. When you hold your baby, you're communicating your love, your protection, your commitment. So practice, practice, and practice some more. And don't be hard on yourself if you don't get it right the first time, or the second, or even the third. You're learning, and that's the most important thing. And remember, no one becomes an expert overnight. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to admit you're scared. It's okay to take your time, because at the end of the day, all that matters is your baby's safety and comfort. With time and practice, you'll soon be a natural at this. So let's quickly recap what we learned today. We began our journey into the world of parenting and the art of baby holding by understanding the significance of the first hold. It's not just a heartwarming moment, it's a bonding experience that carries the potential to set the tone for the relationship between you and your newborn. This is why it's essential to get it right. We moved on to discuss the importance of hand hygiene. It's crucial to remember that newborns have not yet developed a strong immune system, making them susceptible to germs and infections. Washing your hands thoroughly or using a hand sanitizer before picking up your baby can make a world of difference in keeping them safe and healthy. Next, we delved into the right technique to pick up your baby. The golden rule is to always support your baby's head and neck. Their muscles aren't strong enough yet to support their own head, so it's your job to provide that support. Whether you're lifting them from a crib, a car seat, or your own lap, make sure your hand or arm is always there to cushion their head and neck. We then explored the different holding positions. Each hold serves a unique purpose, from the cradle hold that's perfect for feeding or soothing your baby, to alternate holds like the shoulder hold that can help when your baby is burping or just wants to look around. These different holds are not just about comfort, they're about functionality, and knowing when to use each one can significantly ease your parenting journey. Then we touched upon some common mistakes to avoid. Remember, never pick up your baby when they're crying by shaking them, as it can lead to serious injuries. Also, avoid holding them in the same position for too long, as it can cause discomfort and may lead to flat spots on their head. And finally, we emphasized the importance of practice. No one becomes an expert at anything overnight, and it's the same with holding your baby. Practice with a doll, practice with a pillow, practice with your partner. Every bit of practice adds up to make you more confident and comfortable in handling your newborn. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, it's okay to be nervous. You're learning and growing with your baby. You've got this.